PCCD Grants Management. Basic overview of reporting requirements and financial management processes for PCCD grantees. For those considering applying for a PCCD grant, it can be helpful to understand the reporting requirements and some basic aspects of fiscal management. This video will provide a basic overview of these processes. The basic grantee requirements are as follows. Implement the project as approved in your application. Strive to achieve all target numbers for youth or families served. Maintain fidelity to the model. Keep PCCD informed in a timely manner of any successes or concerns that arise. Maintain supporting documentation for both program and fiscal details. Meet reporting due dates, and begin planning for sustainability from day one. PCCD staff serve several roles. PCCD program staff focus on assisting grantees with project implementation and address questions about changes in the scope of the project or budget line items. They also conduct regular monitoring, either by phone or on site, and occasional random monitoring to ensure the project is being implemented as awarded. PCCD fiscal staff approve submissions for reimbursement, request and review financial backup, and conduct periodic random monitoring. Quarterly program reports are due by the 20th of the month following the close of the quarter. They provide a summary of the activities that occurred during the previous quarter and supporting process and outcomes data. For those grantees working with the Epicenter, this data will be provided in the form of performance measure spreadsheets, which are attached to the quarterly report. Quarterly fiscal reports are also due in e-grants by the 20th of the month following the end of the quarter. PCCD has made several updates and changes to this part of the reporting system to make it easier to use. Here are a few fiscal management guidelines for all grantees of PCCD. PCCD provides reimbursement only for actual expenses. If you have encumbered an expense but have not yet paid the invoice, you may submit for reimbursement. Grantees must maintain supporting documentation for all submitted expenses and provide this documentation to PCCD upon request. This includes receipts, MOUs, contracts with consultants, and timesheets documenting time and effort spent by staff on this project. Fiscal reports must be submitted each quarter, even if no expenses were incurred. You may submit an interim fiscal report for actual expenses before the end of the quarter in order to maintain a consistent cash flow. All expenses over $10,000 must be competitively bid or have a sole source justification approved by PCCD. By accepting a PCCD award, you have agreed to adhere to all terms and conditions included in the applicant's manual. Here are some guidelines for managing the fiscal aspects of your grant. You should keep detailed records of all project expenditures, being sure to keep PCCD expenditures and receipts separate from other agency records. Often, PCCD funding requires that all funds be used within the project period. Please check with your PCCD program analyst about the possibility of an extension if funds will not be spent within the allotted period. Invoices you receive from vendors or subcontractors involved in the project must include the payee, the invoice date, the invoice number, a description of each product or service provided, the unit price of each product or service provided, the total amount for each product or service, and a total invoice amount. If for any reason your agency elects not to accept the grant money after an award is made, or if you decide to end the project before the original end date, you must notify PCCD by letter. The letter must be signed by an individual who has contracting authority for your agency, preferably the individual who signed the application award letter. A project modification request, or PMR, allows grantees to make changes to the budget and/or project plan when unexpected costs or needs arise. Grantees can request a PMR by contacting their program analysts to discuss the desired changes. Note that PCCD may ask grantees to repay any expenses incurred that fall outside the project scope without prior approval through a PMR. PMRs are required for changes that exceed 10% of the total budget cost, purchases of items not included in original budget, changes in staffing including hours, salary, or personnel, or changes to the scope of the project. Before taking steps that would alter your originally approved award, please reach out to your PCCD program or fiscal staff person to discuss your proposed changes.